Okay.
But here, of course, it's a different scenario where he's taking the middle of the map. He's putting a lot of pressure on me, and so I try and use it to scare his Colossus away.
All right, so it looks like your siege, did it just now finish?
Yeah, I could not wait for Siege to finish.
All right, and those tanks do pretty well against Colossus. They have the longer range, of course, and do bonus damage to those Colossus. So as soon as that siege finished, it was really nice. And he doesn't have too many Stalkers out because he invested so much in this Colossi early. So that Banshee is actually a pretty good unit to deal with this type of tech he went with, this unit composition.
I tried and pick off one Colossus right here. Not sure if I got it. Oh, I did get it.
Oh, actually, how far are you into the game? I'm at 5:13. 15:13. I'm at.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
15:05?
I'm at 15:21 right now.
I'll speed up.
How far are you at? I'll pause at 15:30 and let me know when you're there. And I'll unpause it. I think I got a little bit ahead of you.
I'm at 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay, unpaused. All right, close enough. I guess I was a little bit ahead of you. So right now you're pushing out. You feel like he doesn't have the army composition right now. He's only got 3 Colossus, and you really need to have some type of Warp Gate army to buffer the Colossus so they can actually deal the damage. So you're probably feeling pretty strong right now.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I know this guy has no other bases. You see my Marines patrolling on the
right side and the bottom.
I have the Zelnaga, so all I'm worried about now is him taking an island base, and I don't think that's happened. So I just try and set up a contain outside his natural.
Yeah, this is something you actually almost never see against Protoss players. Definitely against Zerg players, I could see like a Terran player doing some type of contain, but it doesn't seem to happen very often against Protoss.
Yeah, I definitely try and keep a nice concave and spread out my units so that if he does attack into it, the Colossus aren't going to just annihilate my infantry units.
Yeah, you're trying to make a most efficient army possible. And at this point, you're not really trying to go in for the kill. We can check the food count. He's at 98. You're at 122, so you do have an advantage even setting up another expansion down there at the bottom of the base. So you're just basically going to play for a contain, kind of limit him to 2 bases and go for the long game. Is that your idea right about now?
Yeah, definitely. I know that I'm in the lead. I have a solid contain. I decided to just get my third and macro up and secure a win instead of trying to rush into a small choke area where his Colossus are going to be just really doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, this map is like, I can't think of another map that has such a narrow choke, and not to mention the narrow choke, but there's that overlay on the corner of his base that kind of sticks out that ledge where you can just pick off units. So it looks like he's pushing out right now, and he's kind of using those Colossus to focus down on those tanks, and you're pushing up some units focusing on his Colossi. He's got those Phoenixes out focusing down on a couple of your air units, but you didn't lose very much, and you still have 4 or 5 tanks in the back of next to that Zelnaga tower, with a couple of Marines sprinkled in for AA. So how do you think that fight went?
Right there, I knew since he pulled back, I won the fight, and because I had such a wide spread, his Colossus weren't near as effective. So I knew all I had to do was reinforce my contain, and I would be able to hold.
Right. Okay, so at this point, he's using the Phoenixes to pick up those tanks, but unfortunately, those Phoenixes don't do almost any damage to tanks whenever they pick them up. It takes forever for those Phoenixes to kill those tanks, and those Marines show up in time. Whenever he attacked into you there, do you manually use your siege tanks and focus on the Colossi?
I try and focus the Colossi with my my tanks, yeah, and I sort of A-attacked and stemmed with my Marines.
Okay.
Hoping it would pick off the Phoenixes just because I didn't have the micro to attack each individual Phoenix.
It looks right now like you're trying to fortify your contain. You're throwing up some missile turrets to deal with, of course, the Phoenixes and the Colossi. And you're even calling down a mule to repair a siege tank, because there's a lot of your siege tanks that are low on life. He's bringing out some Phoenixes to try and pick off the tank, and it looks like that was a little bit of a mistake because he just lost 2 of his Phoenixes to your Marines, which do now have that 1 attack upgrade. So you're just like doing heavy contain, macroing a third base. So you have, let's see, the food count advantage. Let's see, 120 to 78. So yeah, you're definitely containing him. At some point, like maybe a lower level player would feel like they just won 2 fights and they just want to move into the opponent's base and win. Definitely, that's a risky strategy.
Now that I'm sort of pulling ahead, I probably could have attacked But again, I was just playing it safe because I knew I was ahead, and why not take my third and have it fully saturated and have a steady pump before I make a risky move like that.
Yeah, and you can see your slow, methodical push into his base with the tanks, with missile turrets, with even bunkers to put units in, and even a couple Vikings out. So you're just getting a really good mix of units, just getting a really good contain on him. What do you think he could do to like maybe get around this contain and apply pressure to you?
His best chance to break this contain, at least from previous games that I've set up a contain versus Protoss, is High Templars. High Templars do so much damage and can break contains so easily because of their AoE.
Even with like this many siege tanks and bunkers added in, like High Templar.
Yeah, they have a fair amount of mortals to take the first couple hits on the siege tanks. It gives the High Temps enough time to go in and set their storms off. Once the storms are off, my contain is just
so like for like a unit combination mix, like Zealots, High Templars, and Immortals would be like a good unit combination to break this contain, you would think?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. And it looks kind of that's what he's going for. He's getting charged a lot, speed upgrade for his Zealots. He's got High Templars, and he still has those 2 Colossi left over, and he's even sprinkling in some Immortals. He's got the counter, it looks like, maybe not counter, but a good unit combination to deal with this, but I think it's a little too late. You've kind of just like out-macroed him. He even sees this third down here with his Observer. The only thing I could really think of that he could maybe do at this point is get another Warp Prism out, just maybe pop in some units to attack you at different locations at your main or something, but maybe those are things that could distract you while he could go in for a push at the same time to distract you. And you got such a strong army, 164 food versus 123, and you're spreading out these tanks. You got really nice contains, so many units just all, like, you know, at the opposite end of his bottleneck.
Yeah, the idea, he had the right idea to get High Temps, let the Immortals go first in this attack.
And then to bring the Zealots in after the Immortals. Like, that Immortal soaked up so much damage from tank hits at the beginning. And unfortunately, I think you just had way too much food. And he did do a lot of damage. GG's already dropped. And that was a pretty interesting game. I liked his opening with that harass on that ledge. I think that could definitely be refined to, you know, make it a lot more valuable. Especially against maybe like a player who's going a lot of bio to open up with. Because, of course, you can scan and just kind of, you know, kill those towers really quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
So what did you actually learn from this game? Like in the strategy you're trying to refine yourself?
Really, versus higher and higher level Diamond Protoss players, the later their expansion goes up, I feel like I have a greater lead. If I can get my expansion up and running and hold off their any kind of pressure they throw at me, for instance, that game it was a tank or ledge drop with cannons. If I can hold off any kind of pressure or anything they throw at me early, I'm going to be ahead in the long run, and I feel like I can out macro them.
So you feel like the weakest point of the strategy is like right when you throw up that expansion, at that critical moment when you put up the expansion and your bunker isn't up yet, and he can maybe hit you with maybe a 3-gate push or something like that. Maybe it could be really devastating.
4-gate pushes versus that early bunker can be really, really hard to hold off if I don't have SCVs there to repair. If they come at me with 4-gate and I have that bunker up, I have my units around the bunker, but I don't have SCVs repairing the bunker, I can easily collapse and fold.
Gotcha. So there's a small timing window there where, of course, it is weak, but I mean, after that point, if you can survive that first push and you can just get your macro up, get those tanks out, and just get a contain on them, it looked like it's really hard to break.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any maps that you think this strategy works better on, or any maps where you think it works like worse on?
Oh man, Blistering Sands is the hardest map to do this kind of strat on. It's a fast expand because of the destructible rocks. You can't fast expand and hold off your expansion when they can easily go in your back and
sneak in.
But I do have a slight solution to that. It's harder to pull off, but I throw up my bunker and a turret to deter DTs. I throw up my bunker kind of between my natural and between the destructible rocks, and then set up my army there. So
outside of your base, like that really big outside sweet spot?
Yeah, by the zone. If he had if he had the zone like a watchtower, he'd be able to see where I am. But then again, it's going to be hard for him to attack into it if I have a bunker there. He can't really take my natural because the bunker should be in range, and he can't really take my rock other than maybe a couple units hitting the left side of the rock.
Gotcha. So do you maybe like expo a little bit later, get a little bit more of a bio army out before you expand, like delay that 35 expo, or do you just still do the 35?
I do 35 expo, but I'm starting to throw up a barracks really, really early. Three barracks instead of a factory for tanks to have more infantry to deal with any kind of a 4-gate pressure.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, thanks for doing this game. We'll probably, if you get some more cool games, we'll do some more co-commentary analysis on them. But thanks, Lowry.
Definitely, it was fun.
Cool. And everybody out there, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I'll try to bring some more 1v1 like co-commentary analysis games from other high-level diamond players on the ladder. See you guys later.